everybody. I'm back. Hoping to continue on through these modules. This is module 2, and we're going to start talking about how to navigate within this 3D software Maya. So this is all about navigation, selecting, and working here within our viewport. Now, right now you see this mechanical chair here that I created. We're actually going to create this for our side-by-side, and we'll work through that tutorial later. But within this viewport here, because it's 3D, you can kind of see that, I can manipulate around this particular object, just holding down Alt and left clicking and holding, and then orbiting around this particular 3D object. I also can, basically see any part of this object as if we were in real life or a sculpture in the round. And that's what I like to call orbiting. We can also, as you can see here, we can hold down Alt and we can right click and we can zoom in and zoom out. We can also use the wheel, to zoom in and zoom out. If we hold down the middle button, which is our wheel, and we hold down Alt, we can pan left and right. In other words, we can move our object to a different area within our viewport here without orbiting around it. And again, that's the middle click, and then if you left click, you can orbit, and a right click, you can zoom in and zoom out, the same as utilizing the wheel. Okay, so within this particular scene right here, I have this like stage area, that I created, and I have a few lights in here too to kind of give it that 3D effect. Now I want to select this stool here, but I have a reference layer over here. See, I can't select it. I have this reference layer over here in my display, and it was set to R, and I just unchecked that R. It's right there. And now I can select my meshes. And I wanted to show you inside the outliner here how I have this hierarchy kind of built. I have this group that houses all of the different primitives and meshes for this particular mechanical chair. So it keeps everything organized and together. And if I click on, just say this seat, that's what you selected now, or let's do something like select this gear. Now I hit F, like I was explaining. If you lose your position, you can do that. You can hit F to frame, a selection that you have selected, and you can orbit around it. But there's going to be times where if you select something, something happens and boom, all of a sudden you're way far away from what you selected. So hitting that F key to frame it will save you from having to do what I just did, which is utilizing the wheel and our mouse to get back to where. Now we're in the perspective view now. Within this viewport, this is where we're orbiting and moving around. And the perspective view, you can do that. So down here at the bottom, if you ever want to know, that's what viewport we're in. But let's go ahead and look at the quad or orthographic views as well. Now orthographics don't have all of the freedom that a perspective view will have. So I'm going to click on my quad view here, panel layouts. And once that's activated, we can see we have 4 panels. Each one of these panels have the same tools like I explained before, and they kind of work together yet not together. In other words, they share the same tools and resources, but like this bottom right one here, it's the side view here. I'm moving it around, and you can see our stool, but as soon as I click on that icon, it takes us out of this X-ray view that's just set for those particular viewports. And again, they're separate from the other viewports. So the reason why I have that x-ray real quick is just that my studio, the thing that I built to put my stool in, it's opaque, and so Maya cannot see through the mesh, and it's trying to see through the side, and that's why we have to utilize the. And we can also hover our mouse over and simply hit the space bar to go into our orthographic view, and actually any particular uh, viewport that you mouse over, if you hit the space bar, you will make large or go into our quad view. Now, as you see, as I was hitting that space bar, you probably saw a menu popping up. And that is actually a hotbox menu. I'll show you here again here when we a little bit easier to see. But toggling back and forth, you can see that this menu will sometimes pop up. Now, if you hold the spacebar down, that's when you can actually see it and manipulate in it. Now, it's a hotbox menu, and it's customizable. You can utilize it for shortcuts. I'm not don't use that one too much. I use some other ones, but you can explore with it and see. It does help from time. So that's a little bit more about the viewports and their tools. In the next video, next tutorial, we're going to start to talk more about, even selecting, talking more about selecting period and transforming and manipulating. So we're going to look at the translation tool, our rotation, and our scale tool. See you in the next video.